the 2nd of January. This is the higher plus 5 a day. Let's go with the first question. Okay, so this first question is a solve simultaneous equation, but crucially, the first equation, I'll call it equation 1 and equation 2. The first equation is a non-linear equation. So what you're going to have to do is rearrange equation 2 and put it into equation 1. Well, actually, it's already rearranged for us, isn't it? So we've already got x equals, so I'm going to substitute x in. So the way that I tend to write it is I say I'm going to put equation 2 into equation 1, and I'm switching the x in, so therefore it's going to be y equals, instead of x squared, I'm going to say 5 minus y squared minus 1. And then let's expand that. Well, for space reasons, I'm going to expand it here. So that's going to be 25 minus, well, 5 times y is 5y, double that is minus 10y, plus y squared minus 1. And let's tidy all this up. So remember, I've got a y here, and I've got equations here. The way I've written it is probably not ideal. So that's going to give me y squared minus 10y minus another y, which is minus 11y. And then I've got 25 minus 1, which is 24. And so that's going to give me this equation here. Now, next question, can I factorize it? Well, I can, because I can think of two numbers that multiply to make plus 24, which is minus 8 and minus 3. And they also add to give me 11. So that's going to be y minus 8, y minus 3 is equal to 0, which means y equals 3, or y equals 8. However, I'm not done because I need to find the x values as well. So remember equation 2. Equation 2 says the x value is equal to 5 minus y. So therefore, now I need to be really careful here. I'm going to put some space over here. If y equals 3, then x equals 5 minus 3, which means that x is equal to 2. And if y equals 8, then x equals 5 minus 8, which is equal to x equals minus 3. So we need to put these things together carefully to make sure I've linked them. So my solutions are, let's go over again, 2, 3. And I'm going to write them as coordinates. So 2, 3 and minus 3, 8. And that's the first question done. A difficult question to start, but a good question nevertheless. Next question. Let's move this back over. Okay, workout. Now the thing about this question is you cannot add surds unless the thing inside the surd is the same number. So it's a bit like saying if I say 2a plus 4a, I can add these things together because the a's are the same. So I'm going to need to simplify these surds. So I'm going to remember that 200 is the same as the square root of 100 times the square root of 2, and 50 is the same as square root of 25 and the square root of 2. Now, before I go any further, I'm feeling quite good about this because they're both root 2, and that's really good because that means I'm going to end up with the same thing. So the square root of 100 I know, that's going to be 10 root 2. And the square root of 25 I know, that's going to be 5 root 2. I've got 10 things and 5 things added together, and so that's going to give me 15 root 2. Question done. Nice little question. Okay, next question. A skill you're going to need to know how to do, and you need to do it carefully because the marks are for sketching accurately. So you need to know your sine graph looks something like this. But when you're sketching it, you need to be more accurate. So 90 goes to 1, 180 goes to 0, 270 goes to minus 1, zoom in a bit, and 360 goes to 0, and I start at 0, 0. Now, they must not be straight lines. It must be a nice, smooth sine curve that looks something like this. You can see I've marked the relevant points. I've got the relevant crossing points. That should give me 4 marks. Question done. Next question. Solve. Now, the question says solve. It doesn't say factorize. It doesn't say anything else. I need to have 2 values at the end that say x equals. It's a quadratic, so I know from a quadratic I'm going to have 2 values. The question is, what are those 2 values? Also, it's not an equal 0, it's greater than 0. So actually it's a bit more than that, isn't it? It's a quadratic inequality. So the first thing I'm going to do is find out where the crossing points are. So let's just delete this first, so I've got some space. So I can factorize this to be x minus 5, x plus 3. And I'm going to keep this here so I remember to do it, which means my critical values are going to be minus 3 and 5. Which in other words means my quadratic crosses through minus 3 and 5. Now, I want all the values that are greater than 0. So the y values are greater than 0 here, and the y values are greater than 0 here. So the answers to my question are going to be that x is going to be less than minus 3, in other words, all that bit there, or x is going to be greater than 5. And technically that should be an or, because you can't be less than -3 and greater than 5 at the same time. Question done. Final question today. Find the nth term of. Now, whenever you get an nth term question, find the difference. So 12 from 10 from 12 is 2. 4. I'm starting to note already 6. And I'm guessing, and I'm correct, that one's going to be 8, which means I've got a second difference of 2. Now, if it has a second difference, that means it's a quadratic sequence, and there's a very definite method to do this. Now, your teacher might do the a plus b plus c 3a plus 2 method. I can't even remember because I don't normally teach it. The way that I tend to do it, because I just think it's a bit safer, is I would say that if the second difference is 2, that means my a term is 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my sequence down. So 10, 12, 16, 22. And then I'm going to do one lot of n squared underneath. So in other words, 1, 4, 9, 16. Had that number been here being 2, I would have done 2 lots of n squared. Then I'm going to take these 2 terms away. So if I take them away, that's going to give me 9, 8, oh, that's quite nice, 7 and 6. And this is a linear sequence which has the nth term. Well, it's going down by 1, so it's minus n. And I need to start at 9, so I'm going to have to add 10. And I put all this together, and that's going to give me n squared, because a is 1, minus n plus 10. And that is today done. Well done if you got all of those. A nice little mix of questions today. And as ever, the point of this is really you're testing those skills, so you know what you know what you don't know, so you can try them further. Do like, subscribe, any comments down below, and I will reply to you. Thanks all.